Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Roma Theory. Very interesting live stream today because Pellegrini will be back starting tomorrow against Genoa. And I think it's time to say that Pellegrini is under pressure. It's time to not even say, it's time to admit that Pellegrini is under pressure, seeing the poor performances that he's had last season, seen the lack of leadership which he shows on a football pitch, and Pellegrini had a rough start to the season in a sense that he was very interrupted by injuries. The only game which he started was that Verona game. After that Verona game, he got injured, and then Awar got injured against Milan, and he got subbed in, and he was very undertone in that game. Pellegrini has been undertone for quite a long while. Pellegrini has been undertone for various amounts of months, if not seasons. The second that Conference League final ended, Pellegrini has never been the same. In Jose's first year, Pellegrini was a great football player, and he helped a lot in Jose's system. But in Jose's second year and in Jose's start to the third year, it's different. The dynamics have changed. He doesn't feel that importance anymore. And it's fair to say that as the captain of this team, he is now feeling that pressure. He's under pressure. Under pressure. He's under pressure. He needs to take the responsibility of returning the player he was before. Because I feel like he himself has understood that the dependency on him has decreased. The dependency of this team on Pellegrini has changed. It's not the same. This team is not Pellegrini dependent. This team is Dybala dependent. And in Jose's first year, when Dybala wasn't here, it was a Pellegrini dependent team. So today I'm going to analyze this. We need to analyze the reasons behind this. And we need to understand and kind of say why he is feeling this pressure. I mean, the first thing which has to be said is the fact that he's the captain of this team. And that's kind of the law of this game. It's kind of, especially how this game has developed in a sense that the media, now you're the scapegoat. They blame you. Roma loses, they blame you. And that's not just with Roma. That works with every single team out there. You look at Man United, for example, and I'm going to pick on Man United because their example comes in very handy. Who's their captain? Bruno Fernandes. Who does the media pick out? Him. It's become like this. He's the captain of this team. It is therefore kind of relatable to the fact that the media will depict on him and will launch him. And that is the thing. He's the captain of this team. And the reason why the media will pick on him is because his leadership has been poor. Again, his quality hasn't been amazing. But in my opinion, the problem with Pellegrini is not quality. It's not what he brings on the pitch. Because if he hits his day, I think Pellegrini is a great football player with incredible talents and qualities. The question is, he plays one good game every 10 games. And the second thing, which I think makes people doubt and has made people kind of criticize him, and I speak on the behalf of many Roma fans. When Roma loses, I go to Roma's last Instagram post, and I read the comments. And even in performances where there were players to blame more than Pellegrini, you will see that 70% of fans will pick on him. And that's kind of how it works. He's the captain. And the reason why he's fallen behind is because he doesn't show that leadership. He doesn't show that communication. And why is this? It's the reason behind this is very, very simple. He has been unfortunate that he is the captain of this team after De Rossi and Francesco Totti. By the way, happy birthday to the captain. Today's his birthday, 27th of September. That's the thing. I mean, I say unfortunate. If you get that armband to continue the legacy of Totti and De Rossi, you need to honor it. You got to be proud about it, because it means that you've made it. You know, getting that armband after Totti and De Rossi literally is the definition of Mom, look, I made it. It's not. You see, it doesn't happen every time to get Totti's armband or De Rossi's armband and stick it on your arm. So when I mean unfortunate because Pellegrini can't handle this. For any other player, it might have been an honor. With honor, you also need to speak about pressure. Because imagine Pellegrini, who is, 25 years old, got that armband the day De Rossi retired from the game. Imagine the amount of pressure he's been put in. And I'm not even in a position to blame him, because this is how this city works. And it will be impossible for, in the future generations, future years, to see somebody, future captains of this team, to not feel the pressure because you're getting an armband which a player like Francesco Totti or Daniel De Rossi wore. It will be impossible not to feel the pressure. But I think the problem here is this. The armband is not new to him. You know, De Rossi retired, correct me if I'm wrong, 2019? That's 4 years ago. So Pellegrini has been the captain of this team since 4 years. You know, it's not like De Rossi retired yesterday and he became the captain of this team yesterday. No, that's not how it works. It's not new to him. By the time De Rossi retired today, I know it's hard, but he should have understood what it means to wear it and to feel the pressure. It's not new to him. And that, in my opinion, is where the problems lay. The problems lay exactly there, because he knows this. He knows this team, and he's been the captain of this team for the past 4 years. So if he still feels the pressure, it's fine. But if he still feels the extent of the pressure which he feels now, it's not good. It's not good enough, because it shows you that he doesn't have the capabilities of being a captain. Because again, that's what a captain needs to do. You need to kind of withstand the pressure. You're going to be the scapegoat of the media. You got to be the leader of the team. You got to be the communicator to the team and the manager. You got to be the communicator to the fans. Something which, unlike De Rossi and Totti, Pellegrini is terrible at. Being a captain ain't easy. Being a captain is a job in itself. And this is definitely one of the reasons. Plus, I say we support a team that has a very strong traditionalist mindset. And when I say this, I mean, when you're a Roman player who plays for Roma, the fans automatically connect with you. The fans automatically kind of praise you as a hero, because they can relate to you. You know, he's a Roman boy who supports Roma. I am a Roman boy supporting Roma. That could have been me. So this is the problem with having a traditional mindset. It's exactly this. Because the fact that he's Roman, supports Roma and all of that, has kind of brought the fans in a perspective where Pellegrini is the perfect captain. But on the other hand, the perfect captain will never be a perfect captain, because nobody will ever be a perfect captain to Totti's extent, if you see what I mean. And it's kind of us infiltrating ourselves in this puzzle which doesn't have answers. So the fact that he is Roman, and that he therefore gives a sense of connection to the majority of fans, it's kind of a problem because initially he thought, well, I'm Roman, I support Roma, surely I'm going to connect with the fans, and surely the fans are going to be behind me any time. And he got that wrong, because the fact that you're Roman and all of that is great, connect with the fans, but if you play bad, you have to be criticized. And therefore, the few times that he got criticized, he got headaches because he was not expecting this. Another very important thing to understand this is something which I can read in the chat from. I mean, I've already mentioned what Rocco was saying about the legacy of De Rossi and Totti as captains, but another very important thing, in my opinion, which is very important, is Dybala. Now, again, I may be controversial here because maybe a lot of you guys don't agree with this. But I think the only way to kind of understand this is if you see Pellegrini's season with Mourinho without Dybala, and Pellegrini's season / this start to the season with Dybala. Pellegrini and Jose's first season was the best technical player in our team. And one of the reasons why Tammy scored the number of goals he scored in the first season was because, the support from Pellegrini and that connection was incredible. Dybala comes in, Pellegrini is not the same. Problem with this is not competition, because Pellegrini knows himself that Dybala is better. Problem with this is, with Dybala on the pitch, Pellegrini feels like he's less important, and therefore he feels like it's correct for him to play with less intensity, or to play with less technique, or to play weaker because Dybala's on the pitch. And that, in my opinion, is the problem with which Dybala has brought in Pellegrini's mindset. Oh, well, Dybala's on the pitch, let me rest a bit. Let me, I don't need to give that technical assistance which I needed to give in Jose's first year when Dybala wasn't here. I don't need to do that because Dybala does that. So now I'm going to play in such a way that requires me to create less chances, to score less goals, because Dybala does all of that. So what I'm going to do is play more defensively, short passes, long passes, tiki-taka, and this playing more defensively thing has gotten the goal scoring, assisting, and all of that away from him, because he's not used to doing it anymore. And another thing which I will always say about Pellegrini is the fact that no manager has yet discovered the position he plays in. Which I find embarrassing that our captain does not know what position is his best position. And again, this is the problem, it's his problem, because Spalletti, or Mancini before Spalletti got appointed, in the Italian national team, did not understand where Pellegrini needed to play. To the extent that he played a game as a winger, a game as a creative midfielder, a game as a box-to-box midfielder, and a game as a defensive midfielder. How can a player perform to its maximum levels if he needs to play in 4 completely different positions in the space of 4 weeks? How? I mean, it's impossible, because he ain't Messi. He can't just, wherever you put him, he plays well. So the big reason of why his quality, in terms of quality, he's been bad and bang average lately, is because of this. He does not know what his best position is. Mourinho doesn't know what his best position is. Because we've seen Pellegrini play as a creative midfielder, and we've seen Pellegrini play as a box-to-box midfielder. And we've also seen Pellegrini, who plays wider, and when we attack, gets more central into the pitch. That's 3 completely different things. If you ask him to do one thing 1 week, ask him to do another thing 1 week, and then another completely different thing another week, then he will be so confused that he will not understand where he plays. And thus, his performances are going to be weakened. Answering the question, where do I think Pellegrini needs to play? Pellegrini needs to play, in my opinion, next to Dybala, rotating with Aouar. I think Pellegrini next to Cristante is a waste of time, waste of space even. Because I don't see Pellegrini play as a box-to-box mid. Unless he adopts what Cristante is doing lately, which is infiltrating in the box and doing what Renato Sanchez does. Yeah, I see Pellegrini as a Renato Sanchez type player, which is a box-to-box midfielder, but is also a very creative midfielder who creates chances. And the problem with him is, if you start him in a creative position, he gives no assistance whatsoever in the defensive section. And if you start him in a more box-to-box midfielder, he does not give any creativity or chances creation contribution whatsoever. So we are stuck here guessing where Pellegrini needs to play, but yet he himself doesn't know where he wants to play. And that, in my opinion, is a massive problem. Adding on to the fact that he's our captain who doesn't have an identity when playing football. I believe in him, and I've always supported him, and I will continue to support him. He's my captain, as I just said before. I relate to him. That it's the Roman mentality. He's Roman, supports Roma, just like me. I relate to him. I'm pretty sure a lot of us relate with him, as much as a lot of us relate with players like Bove. And that's exactly why I put Bove in the back of my shirt this season. He needs to improve, but in order to improve, he needs to understand two things. The first thing is the leadership thing. He's the captain. He's the communicator. We concede a goal. He needs to be the one who incitates the team, not Mancini. Because if Mancini needs to do it, then Mancini needs to be the captain. And second of all, he needs an identity, something which I struggle to see in Pellegrini at time of speaking. But yeah, look, Pellegrini's back from his fitness problem, and I went live today just because tomorrow with him starting the Genoa game, he will start a period of time where, if he doesn't change things, he's going to fall under pressure because the media is going to constantly target him. And when I say the media, the fans are also going to constantly target him. So it's kind of a new beginning for Pellegrini, as much as it kind of is a new beginning for the entire team following the disastrous start to the season. Well, I say disastrous, I say pretty bang average start to the season. And he needs to be the one who tomorrow I want to see the more active on the pitch. And obviously that means that if Pellegrini now restarts and re-becomes the player he was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I will be the happiest man on earth. Because I've supported him through bad times, as much as everyone here. So if he plays a good game, I will be very, very happy for him. Pellegrini is an elegant player, but the elegance happens every 50 matches. He was great for the first 2 months of Jose, I remember very well, and then ghosted. Zaniolo and Zalewski carried UCL, let's be honest. Yeah, definitely. I agree. But when in that Conference League season, Pellegrini was the center of this team. Pellegrini was the equivalent of Dybala right now, the player which other players sought to find on the pitch, the player which created chances, and also a player who scored a lot of goals. Something which right now, Pellegrini scores a goal every 10 games. So, I've said at the start of the season, Pellegrini needs to get double figures in either goals or assists. That's what he needs to do. The real objective this season is exactly that. He's also played fantastically for Italy. I wish we still have Matic to run the middle now that we have a really good striker force, but hopefully Paredes grows into the role because even a match needed about 1/4 of the season to settle in. As a Roman captain, you have to be perfect because you're the ultimate ambassador for the fan base, and Romans are hypercritical of their own, and they tend to have love fest with South Americans. I agree. I definitely agree on that, which is what we said before. I'm seeing Osimhen questions. Look, I am going to speak about the Osimhen thing, but I'm going to do it tomorrow in the live watch along. That's going to be a good topic on this Osimhen saga, what's happening with him. So come back tomorrow for the live watch along because we're going to speak, other than following the game, obviously, we're going to speak about all of these different topics. I'm frying chips right now. Enjoy them, mate. I swear Pellegrini is depressed. Something happened at the beginning of last season that out has mind in a funk. possibly Dybala arriving. Dybala definitely influenced in it. I definitely agree. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I've enjoyed it today. I've really enjoyed it. I think we've gone through some very a very good topic, very interesting topic. So if you enjoyed this live stream, I invite you to smash the like button, whether you're watching this live or not. Please, 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 let's try and get as many likes as possible. You want me to set a like target like I did this summer? 100 likes in a live stream would be absolutely amazing. Smash the subscribe button if you haven't already, and if you did, then get your friends and family to subscribe. I'm going to catch you tomorrow for the live watch along. Very important game. Hopefully Lazio lose tonight. And yeah, I'll be the first one to support Pellegrini. And tomorrow it's a new beginning for him to cancel the past season and these past few game weeks at the start of this season. Talk to you soon. Take care. Love you all. And I'll talk to you soon. See you out.